Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob and I am back with another Horror Madness movie review. Like I always state, for the month of October, going to be reviewing one horror movie each day. If you haven't seen some of my other horror movie reviews, definitely check them out. But we are on day 5 and I'm going to review another classic horror film, Clive Barker's Hellraiser. 1987 British-American horror film, written and directed by Clive Barker himself. Produced by Christopher Figg, based on Barker's novel, The Hellbound Heart. This was Clive Barker's directorial debut. Pretty awesome. When it comes to the Hellraiser films, I like the first 3. The 4th movie, Bloodlines, is alright, and I did like Judgment, but the other ones like Hell World and Inferno and Deader, I didn't really care for those. But the music was by Christopher Young, stars Andrew Robinson, Claire Higgins, Ashley Lawrence as Kirsty Cotton. Had a budget of $1 million. And it made 14, and it got critical praise. A lot of people liked the originality of it. Gory. Some people call it the greatest horror film made in Britain. But yeah, Doug Bradley as Pinhead. I always thought Pinhead was a cool character with the nails in his face. Looks like it hurts. But you know, this is a character where you can't really replace him. You know, if Doug Bradley ever stopped doing it, which he did, out of the 10 Hellraiser films, he did 8. But Hellraiser Judgment I actually liked. So but yeah, you know, Doug Bradley's the man. He is Pinhead for sure. So this film involves the resurrection of Frank, played by Sean Chapman, who opens the door to an alternate dimension and had his body torn to pieces by creatures known as the Cenobites. And there's quite a few of them. Years later, Frank's brother Larry, played by Andrew Robinson, moves into their late mother's abandoned house with the new wife Julia, Claire Higgins. An accident causes some of Larry's blood to spill on the attic floor, which triggers Frank's resurrection. To complete his resurrection, he requires more blood, which Julia provides, while Kirsty, Ashley Lawrence, Larry's daughter, discovers Frank's puzzle box, which leads her to meet with the Cenobites. And of course, he got the puzzle box from a dealer. I think it was in Morocco. But when Frank solves the puzzle, in the beginning, like these hooks with chains come out and tear him apart. There's like swinging chains, and it's all covered with, you know, like the remains of his body. And black robed figure appears and returns the box back to its original state, and everything turns normal. It's pretty cool. It's all about the puzzle box. But I like how Pinhead, you know, basically tortures his victims when he sends out those chains with hooks, and it basically tears people apart. And then there's that rotating thing, that rotating block of wood that's always coming down like this. And there's, like, you know, barbed wire around it. There's hooks, there's chains, there's just all sorts of stuff. It's when it comes to the Hellraiser movies, they are weird. You know, they can get weird. But I don't know. I like the vibe. I like the, you know, there's Pinhead and some of the Cenobites there. You have Robert Hines as Steve. You have Nicholas Vince as Chattering Cenobite. who does all that chatter with his teeth. Simon Bamford, who plays Butterball, the Cenobite, right there. There's chatter. You got Grace Kirby, who plays the female Cenobite. And you have Oliver Smith, who plays Skinless Frank, or the monster. Very cool movie, like, honestly. I love some of the gore that's in this, and a lot of the scenes that happen when he's like, Jesus wept. Basically ripping him. Oh my god. That's a crazy scene. You know, Frank reveals his true identity to Kirsty, and you know, he does like sexual thing, like he advances on her and rejected, and he decides to kill her. He accidentally stabs Julia instead and drinks her blood with remorse, and then Frank chases Kirsty to the attic, and when he's about to kill her, the Cenobites appear after hearing him confess to killing her father. And then all of a sudden the chains come out and tear him to pieces. Pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, you can see some of those right there. Like the hooks right there. It's pretty awesome, though. When it comes to this movie, it was filmed at the end of 1986, and it was set to be made in 7 weeks, but it was actually extended over 9 to 10 weeks. It was originally under the working title of it has a weird name, like Sadomasochistic. I don't even know how to say it. Sadomasochistic. I don't even know how to say it. From Beyond the Grave or something. Like it's a weird name. But Barker wanted to call the film Hellbound, but you know, the producer suggested Hellraiser instead. But you know, they called Hellraiser 2 Hellbound. So at least they got to the, at least they got to that part. But yeah, this movie, like I said, I enjoy the first 3 for sure. And this film actually had 2 editors too. Tony Randall, who was uncredited, and Richard Martin. And Clive Barker wanted the electronic music group called Coil to perform the music for the film, but was rejected. So they got Christopher Young to do the film score. And I like the film score. Young, he previously composed scores for other horror films. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, which I love, and Invaders from Mars, 1986 Tobe Hooper film. Clive Barker had to make some cuts on the film after the MPAA gave it an X rating. So the scenes that were cut for an R rating were 2.5 shots that existed from the first Hammer murder, including a close-up of the hammer lodged in the victim's head. In the scene where Julia murders another man, the actor playing the victim felt that it made sense for him to do so naked. The nude murder scene was shot but ultimately replaced with a semi-clothed version. Close-ups of Kirsty sticking her hand into Frank's stomach, exposing his guts. And also a longer version of the scene where Frank is being torn to pieces by the Cenobite hooks. The final shot where his head explodes and his brain splashes out was also cut. In an interview, Barker mentioned some problems that censors had with more erotic scenes in the movie. But I haven't heard the commentary to Hellraiser. I definitely want to hear it, because I heard that there's, Barker says a lot of stuff in the commentary. There's a seduction scene between Julie and Frank that was it was more explicit. They did a version with a scene where they had some spanking in it, and the MPAA did not like that and did not approve of that. But no one knows where the spanking footage is. They got some 50 Shades of Grey stuff going on. But anyway, there's some things that they cut out to make it, of course, rated R. But the Hellraiser films are known for its gore. That's what it's known for. And its weirdness and just all-out originality. That's what I think of it. But anyway, guys, this is a good movie to check out in the month of October for sure. And like I said, if you're looking for a Hellraiser movie to watch this one, watch 2 and 3. I think you'll definitely like them if you've never seen any of them before. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But anyway, if I had to rate Hellraiser, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10 for sure. It's not as good as, it's not as good as like some of my favorite horror series like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. But like I said, a couple of the movies I really, really do enjoy. So it's definitely a way above average film. That's for a horror film, so to say. So that is my review of Hellraiser. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this. I hope you are enjoying my Horror Madness movie reviews. I'll be back with more. Next will be day 6, and we will see what horror movie I pick to review. I'll be back with more Wild Eye Releasing reviews. I'll be back with more Halloween series reviews. And I know some of you are probably saying, well, for Horror Madness, you should do Halloween. Well, the thing is, I've already done Halloween. If you want to watch my, on here I would have put Halloween 1 on my Horror Madness reviews. But since I already reviewed it, I'm not going to just do it again. So if you want to see my Halloween review, definitely check it out. I have been reviewing every single Halloween film, up to, I'm going to do it all the way up to the new movie that's coming out. So that's separate from Horror Madness. That's not the same thing. It's just my Halloween series reviews. So I just finished up with Halloween 4, which is up on the channel. Definitely check out that. And next will be Halloween 5. So I also got a Blu-ray and VHS DVD update coming up. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you very much for subscribing, for all the comments, for sticking with me, for the support. Really do appreciate it. And this is Rob signing off. And I'll see you guys in the next one.